date I had, he came over when I'm on my recovery of my hip, and he lays down and we're playing games, we're playing gin and whatnot, and he comes in to kiss me and he's kissing me. I'm like, ooh, that feels good. And he goes, I'm like, what? And he goes, I don't just have a smell fetish. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's all right. He goes, I'm like, did you smell anything? Did you like it? He goes, no, it was good. You smell so good. I go, I don't have any cologne or perfume on, so. And then he puts his head on my chest, and I'm like, I'm holding his head, and I'm like, well, I guess we're just gonna hang right here. I haven't even kissed him yet. And next thing you know, he goes, he goes, hang up! He goes, I go, stop it! You did not just do that!
What did he do?
Went down real quick with his head! And goes, hang up! I can't.
First of all, my disclaimer. This is not meant in any way to belittle anyone who is currently recovering from any major surgeries or finds themselves disabled. This is purely for educational purposes presented in the previous video. And disclaimer. Fam, I truly feel sorry for women when they deal with men of such, distinct quality. Even if it was funny, ladies, you do have my sympathy in these rare cases. Given the benefit of the doubt, she is being 100% honest here. Now, here's the underlying issue that queens in her situation probably don't consider when dating. Men with certain desires will look to date women they think will give them the highest probability to let those desires be fulfilled. As my advice to you ladies, if you are recovering from hip surgery, or anything else actually, in your 50s, and decide to date, consider a small portion of your suitors to be of an acquired taste. Kind of like when a lion spots a wounded gazelle. It's not your fault, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't have your guard up. Then again, in the guy's possible defense, he may turn out to be an awesome boyfriend. He just has a sniffing quota. I guess that should be discussed prior to the first date, maybe. Moving on.
I truly believe it's because we're not honest from the jump. We're not honest with what we want for ourselves. We're not honest with who we are. We're not honest with what we're looking for and what we're not looking for. We are also trying to mold into something that the other person wants instead of hanging tight and strong into what we want and what we value. So if you get onto these dating apps and you're not true to your non-negotiables and you're not true to who you are, you're not only doing yourself a disservice, but also the person that's swiping on you, okay? Because if they are being honest with themselves and they are being honest with the world, and then you guys match up and do you see what I'm saying? You're already matching with someone who's not you're wasting everybody's time. Everyone needs to just be honest. Get to the date, get to the match, get to the conversation, and you'll already be one step ahead of everybody else. Does that make sense? Like, the matching should be legit from the jump. Another thing with authenticity, just be yourself. Don't lie, and I think you'll be on the right foot in the beginning. Yeah, I'm sticking to it. Follow for more.
Okay, fam, I'm nowhere near as qualified in professional degrees or certifications as this dating coach. I am, however, extensively qualified in field experience of Western dating culture. Feel free to disagree with me and completely agree with her. Now, she claims the reason dating sucks is because we are not honest. Nope. That is too vague and too open to interpretation, which continues the cycle of bad dating experiences. I counter her be honest advice with be realistic. There is a huge difference there. And for those of you who don't get it, I'm here for you. Why the distinction?
How come? Tell me why! Say it! Say it!
Because the reality of a queen accepting she is a 5 versus her honest truth of her feeling like a 10 is a major factor that makes dating difficult. I.e., what you think you deserve versus the reality of your true SMV is key. I'm not saying men don't do this. I am saying the chances of a woman thinking she is levels above her SMV is much higher in today's dating market. What's my proof behind my claim? Well, do you see overwhelming amounts of videos with men saying they deserve better and they aren't going to settle? HVM goes for what he wants, gets the W's he gets, and keeps going higher if needed. Average men who are self-aware dating their range. Queens, for the most part, think they all deserve the top 20% of men. Kind of like a kid who can't count yet and doesn't understand why she can't buy a shopping cart full of toys with just $1. Yeah, that sums up a post-wall woman's dating honesty.
Now that's a lot of damage!
Moving on.
So, I have another dating story. I like this filter. It's like me times like 1,000. Fuller lips, smoother skin, bigger eyes. Can I look like this all the time? Would be really nice. I think I confirmed around noon. He's like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, okay. I said, where would you like to go? He goes, give me some time. Okay, no rush. I've got all day. We're not meeting until like 7:30 or so. And, okay. I don't think I texted him throughout the day because I was busy with my friends. And then like 5 o'clock rolls around, tells me he has to cancel because he has to work until 9 now instead of 7. And he promises he's going to make it up to me. And then he wants to know if I'm going to be awake at 9 so he can call me. I say, sure. So, I wasn't checking on anything. I was busy with my friends. 9 o'clock rolls around. No call.
Yes, fam, this is the same queen who in a previous audit was complaining about a younger man dancing with her at a college area bar. Link in the cards for that one. It's funny how in the previous video, she was complaining about the young guy who was contacting her, while in this video, she's complaining about another man who isn't contacting her. In her own dragged out way to tell everyone about scheduling a Facebook date, with details on other women's opinions of it, the amount of texting between her and the other guy, and her time management. You know, the key critical parts that make a dating story video so epic. All to get to the point of no call follow-up. I can't help but notice how she tried to downplay it by saying she wasn't checking on anything, only to immediately state exact times she didn't get a call. Gee, Queen, tell us how much it sucks to be on the receiving end of ghosting. It's almost like being an average man in the modern dating market now, isn't it?
Yeah, boy.
9:30. No call. 10 o'clock, I'm tired, I'm going to bed. So I just texted him, good night. Nothing. Crickets. Yeah. So my way of giving myself closure, even though like it wasn't anything, it was just us talking. I sent him a text message this morning. I was like, well, I hope you find what you're looking for. It was nice chatting with you for a bit. My hunch, my suspicion is he had a date with someone else and he liked her more. But instead of telling me this, he lied and said he had to work late. So I had checked Facebook Messenger like 5 minutes or so before I texted him goodnight. And he'd been on like 5 minutes previous. And so I know he was awake. He didn't just go home and fall asleep.
Yep, she wasn't interested in him. Her not caring attitude of noting the time the previous night before falling asleep, her follow-up closure text, her light Facebook stalking are all clear signs of she being uninterested. Ladies, let me help all of you out. It's obvious this guy was a higher quality guy she wanted to date. The problem many of you far post-wall queens have when re-entering the dating market is you don't even bother trying to learn how to catch a HVM. It's like all of you decide to grab a stick, string, and a worm from the backyard, then throw it into the water and expect a prize marlin to come in for it. Then you get shocked when you end up with either nothing, a catfish, or no boot. Queens, why not take the time to research what the men you desire actually want?
It's whatever, but, you know, I've had young men, a 30-year-old, who actually was decent enough to tell me that he wasn't feeling a connection. Like, why is it men closer to my age, I'm 52, why is it that men closer to my age can't be honest? It's better to just tell me. It might sting a little. I might be like, wow, okay. But at the same time, at least I'll be like, okay, cool, whatever. Have a nice life. I can at least say that you are a nice guy, even if you ditched me. But by not saying anything and crickets and ghosting me, that's kind of rude. I don't like it. I just wouldn't do that to people. I don't. If I've got a date, I go out on the date. If I meet someone else before I go out on that date, I probably still go out on that date. And if I'm not going out on that date, I'm going to be honest about why I'm canceling. It's that simple. To me, at least, it's that simple. Why? Why are men? Well, some men. I can't say all men. But a lot of the men that I run into, it seems. The dating pool has pee in it. I don't think I like it. I'll just stay single, be with my friends. It's so much easier.
Yeah, you all heard that straight from this Skittles-haired advanced post-wall queen. She literally bashed men who ghosted her and followed up by admitting to dating multiple men at the same time.
Him, her, him, bodies!
I'm sure my male viewers are all going to argue that a carousel rider isn't the person standing on the highest moral ground to be dictating to men what proper behavior is all about. Think of it this way, ladies. Would you be willing to take driving criticism from someone who got busted on DUIs on 3 separate occasions in the last year? Didn't think so. Another point is, maybe men closer to her age don't really care if she considers them nice guys, or they don't want to deal with any possible drama she may or may not come up with. Am I saying ghosting is acceptable? No! I am saying that men learn to do that from women. Either that or those men are following the bright colors rule of nature, as in bright coloring that warns predators of a toxic species.
Run! Go! Get to the chopper!
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.